Hello, hello. I my apologies. I thought I set it for 6:30, not 6 o'clock. um, so if anyone's watching, I do apologize. Getting some stuff turned on here. Getting some stuff turned on. And I got dogs in the background, just being noisy as always. Should pick a different room next time. um, Getting some music going in the background. If y'all can hear it, let me know. But anyways, back after being sick and a cold, it's a little better, but got today's show 20 strange rules that bikers make their wives and girlfriends follow. And I'm not sure if they're totally strange or if they're actually rules, but I know um, bikers have their, if you're in a club, these are actually done. You know, I'm going to throw a link out here. So, anyone wants to come on, they can help me out. So, one thing that they have is like no ladies welcome, and what that means is um, women can't be actual members of a outlaw MC or one percenter MC. I know there's the thing I'm looking at says gang, but they're not gangs; they're MCs, motorcycle clubs. But the thing is women have their own clubs. Are there one percenter women motorcycle clubs? I've heard of them. I don't know, but I kind of find that one just to be a little debunking. Um, but for an actual club, outlaw club, definitely no. They're definitely not allowed to join. They can start their own, but they're not allowed to join one. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Most most men, biker men, have their wives or their girlfriends work nine to 9 to 5s. You know, because one, your bike payment ain't gonna make itself. Two, the apparel costs money. You know, just everything costs money, and you gotta pay the bill somehow. If the man's sitting there running around the clubhouse doing things with the brothers and stuff, yeah, somehow the bills got to get paid because that guy ain't working. Not much. Women ride bitch, as so they say. Hang on. But if your man has a bike and you're with him, most likely you're riding in the back unless you got your own bike. But even then, they still want you to ride in the back. I'm one of them new age bikers where if the woman wants to ride, she's got her own bike. I'm fine by that. You know, you know. But a lot of people treat their women as second class citizens. So if your guy tells them to ride to sit outside in the rain, they do it. They tell you to ride bitch, you ride bitch. They look at it as, if you don't, it's a shame and embarrassment to your guy. Me personally, I don't believe that. That one can go aside because women's have their own minds and their own thoughts, and they should feel free to voice them. This one is true. You don't snitch. If you hear anything, if the woman hears anything from the club and stuff, she shouldn't say anything, and she shouldn't be around any situation to put herself into that. So yeah, if they do hear something, you don't snitch. You don't say anything. Definitely. Oh, and I did hit the like button. If you get any if you get one comes up that you don't like, say something. We'll talk about it. Hit the link, come in, we'll talk. Some of these I think are really outdated, but I can see why they do it. It says another one is make them afraid, very afraid. But what do they mean by that? There are some benefits to being associated with a biker gang. I hate that term. An MC. Why else would anyone want to join one? Besides supporting a man they love in their passion, a biker chick also gets the by association thrill of inspiring terror and awe in regular people. Both reactions are equally acceptable, Martin said. So, if I'm reading this right, the women cause air terror. They basically scare other people for their guy because they're guys too busy doing other things. So the women actually play in my eyes, a significant role when it comes to their guy being an MC. Um, because without that woman support and the woman, their women backing everything up and supporting them, there wouldn't be much for the guy to come home to or do. Just be running around single, this, that, you know. Um, to me, the women hold things together and they should be allowed into clubs, but that outlaw clubs, but that's just isn't the way it is, unfortunately. Family comes first, but define family. Is it family as in the MC or family as in actual family? They always go on about family in the movies, and it's the same as for us bikers. The idea is that our biker buddies are our newest and dearest, or our nearest and dearest, and you need to drop everything if one of them ever needs you. This is just as true for the ladies as it is for the guys. I'm not going to drop everything for anybody. No, I've got a few people that ride that I will drop whatever I'm doing for. and go and help them out. And they would do the same for me. And from what this article says, it was dated in 2022, by the way. It just says the women do the same thing. That I can believe because sisterhood in the MC world is just as tight as family outside the MC world. It's a bond that, I mean, it's a true bond. It's thick, thicker than water. But then blood is thicker than water. You don't have to be blood for this, I guarantee you. Um, now, you ever get your friends in high school? That bond is so strong that throughout the years, that bond just keeps getting stronger, stronger. That's basically what they're saying here is that you got that bond and you do just drop everything to help them out. Sorry for the nasal sound. I'm still getting over that cold. Now, correct me if I'm wrong on that. One unwritten rule is that women who live the biker style need to have strong stomachs. Um, that one kind of surprises me. Does that mean that they're eating anything that I'm probably sure that it's just they see a lot of things and they just got to have that strong stomach so they don't upchuck or anything. These MCs are ruled over by tough men running on pure testosterone after all. There's no democracy or policing or anything that governs a normal world. That's a ruthless lifestyle for anyone involved. Now, that depends on which way you go. In my experience, it's not as ruthless. It's not like what they say, but it can be if you want. I'm in two organizations. It's not like an MC where your family and your MC are top and then everything else falls after that. No, this is your family for you and your family first, then your organization kind of falls in after that. Because if you ain't right with your family or your bills and stuff, then you ain't going to be right in anything else you do. So you put your basically yourself first. Um, this, in most MCs, you put yourself, you put the club first, then your family. But you have to find that balance between the two. Time is money, definitely, because bikes aren't cheap. Neither is apparel. Um, as your man rises through the ranks of the club, a biker woman should expect most of their spare time and money to be spent on club stuff. I mean, come on, the bikes aren't cheap. They don't pay for themselves, actually. I wish they did. If they did, that'd be quite relieving. Um, then there's the clothes, the maintenance, and the clubs. You got club dues. If you can't afford your club dues, then you're not a member of good standing. And it does add up, by the way. I've been fortunate enough to where I don't have to pay dues, except for one organization. Yes, I do, but I paid up for 5 years. Um, Unfriended. So this one basically means if you're going to have little time to make friends, you're not going to have a lot of time, social time outside of what your man is doing. They're basically saying an old lady should not be sacrificing time spent with the club on regular people. There are simply not enough hours in the day to keep those friendships up. Now, that I will disagree simply because a woman needs friends, needs that support system. Um, if you're spending too much time with the club and not spending time with your family or your spouse, girlfriend, then you should me personally, I think that you should rethink that. But that's not how it is in the MC world. Definitely. Um, I wouldn't make my wife cut her friends out of her life. No, she needs those friends. She needs that time to go spend with them and be herself. That one I don't agree with because you're just basically saying that your woman is for you, you only, she is your servant, slave, or whatever you want to call it. I don't believe in that. Nope. Um, my woman is my partner, and I want her to ride with me. I don't want her to cater to me and stuff. Even though that I did grow up that way, I don't want her to do that. No, she's her own person, and I respect that. But if you are a wife or a girlfriend of someone in a club, you will have to submit to the life. Plain and simple. They say women must be outwardly submissive. This may seem obvious in the man's world of bike of MCs, but it's Martin's use of outwardly that's interesting. It is. She seems to be suggesting that while a woman must appear submissive to the guys, she should still retain her own sense of self. Now, see, no, if my woman, I don't want my woman being submissive. I want her to have, like I said, her own mind, speak her mind, and do her own thing. Um, to support me, yes. To be submissive, no. Two different things. Look the other way. This one, that don't need no explaining. Actually, um, your guy does something, look the other way. Um, basically, that one doesn't need an explaining it at all. Deaf, blind eyes, deaf ears, basically says it all. Now, if a guy is single in a club, he's going to make sure you're your girlfriend material. How does he do that? Well, let's see. I'm not in a club, so women in their lives. Jesus, ads popping up. Women in their lives must be able to bond with one another, at least a little, be cordial. You know, you don't have to like them, but be cordial. These wives and girls are putting up with the same stuff after all, so it makes sense that they form connections. Probably their best chance of keeping themselves going. Well, one way to solve that, don't be in a club and you don't have to worry about it. Then your wife, you don't have to worry about them knowing club business and saying anything. See, even I'm smart enough for that. As Aretha Franklin says, respect. Um, if you're wearing a patch, your woman should never show in public a lack of respect to any patch holder, and it doesn't matter. whether a biker is an official member of a club, um, is this something that they have to do? Um, Respect the patch, even if it's a prospect. Respect it. Um, the women need to respect that. It's just it's a respect thing. You wouldn't want someone to put down. The women wouldn't want someone to put down a patch of a club that they're in or not respect it. No, that doesn't go for that. So why would it go for a man's for an MC that it's all men? No, I wouldn't put down. I should say I wouldn't show lack of respect for a patch that my wife wears, and she wouldn't do the same to me. She would respect my patch, but I wouldn't put her in a position to do that either. See evil or hear evil. A biker woman shouldn't know the inner workings of a motorcycle club. That is true. She should not, unless she's part of one that allows both women and men co-ed. But she'll probably know enough to understand what's what. That means she's in a good position to be the eyes and ears of a club. Basically, kind of a lookout if they hear something about the club or this or see something. Basically, go and report it to the club. That way, if an old lady can spot the heat around the corner, she can warn her man's crew. Um, basically saying you're respecting the club. You're doing this. You're doing that. You're playing second fiddle to your man and just being loyal to their club. Know what you're in for, definitely. Just like a guy prospecting for a club or who's in a club. Um, you want to know what you're getting into. Um, when I when my wife and I were getting into one organization, we checked it out, made sure it was our thing, and yes, it's a love shack. I didn't know you could hear it. I thought I had the volume turned down low. I'm gonna have to put a disclaimer um, in my description so for fair use, so that I don't get copyright for that. But yeah, you're definitely going to want to know what you're getting into, because if you're dating a man wearing that patch, make sure you know what you're going to get into. Make sure um, it's what you want, because you know you get what you ask for, basically. Um, Making peace with the fact that their lifestyle could be taken away from them at the drop of a hat. Yep, if the club or even the man decides they're no longer welcome, the world as they know it disappears. Yep. Um, you basically ain't going to go into a clubhouse without your man because you're not part of the club. You can go looking for him, but they won't let you in the clubhouse. That's for sure. And they'll send someone in if he's there. But no. From everything I'm reading here, the women always play second fiddle to the guy and are not seen as an equal. That's not how I operate. That's why I'm unaffiliated. See what I did there? No rewards. A woman may not be able to be a fully fledged member of a motorcycle club, but she still has her own special power. Specifically, she can subtly direct her man in one direction or another on issues within the club. The guy will get the kudos for solving any problems, of course, but the woman behind the scenes can still know she's played her part. Yeah, you ain't gonna get no recognition at all. No, no matter what you do, the club's always gonna look at the guy. The women's always gonna play second fiddle. Um, yeah, I hear you. Hear you, shocker. You never will date a man wearing a patch. Um, if you, I know you. You don't play second fiddle to anyone, even your man. You want to be an equal, and like you're saying, you'll ride solo before that happens. Um, you got too much respect for yourself to let that happen, and that's a good thing. The outer circle. One biker woman revealed how she was kept in the dark about publicly and privately, so any prospective biker wife wouldn't expect her guy to talk shop in front of her. She probably won't get any goes behind closed doors either. Well, if your man's in a club, he shouldn't be talking club business in front of you anyway. Um, Lack for a better word, but to keep you, as I want to say, dumb about what's going on. And that I think is good because um, I don't talk about my business in front of my kids if it's something they shouldn't hear. Most of the time, yeah, they can because it's nothing to we don't it's nothing to hide. It's nothing that they can't hear. We talk about bike runs and rides and parades that we're going to do and stuff because we are an organization. We're not a club. So he can hear that. But if anybody outside my family, no, I won't. Um, I won't talk stuff. I won't talk that business about. Nope. And you're right. Adult business is adult business, and that's the same thing in the biker world. Club business is club business. Don't talk it about in front of club business in front of people who don't need to hear it. Plain and simple. No wheels, no wheels, no ride, no club. As it says, it may come as a surprise, which it doesn't. If you're part of the biker life, you'd expect at least to have to go on one of those Harleys. Flip the Harleys. Well, no. Apparently, bike women are forbidden to cruise on their partner's hogs. Former old lady claimed that her guy would have gotten in a whole heap of trouble if he let this rule. Well, yeah, I ain't gonna let my. If I was in a club, no, but I'm not in a club. Yes, walk like an Egyptian. Um, but no, if you're in a club, your woman shouldn't be riding your bike at all. Um, as a passenger, yes, but as driving, no, that's going to get your guy pretty well stringed up and could possibly get him kicked out. But Women need to ride too. And if you are dating someone in a club, there are going to be strings attached. You know, the only reason a woman is allowed to hang around a motorcycle club is because of her attachment to one of the guys. You know, they have they have to be a wife or a girlfriend, or they're not welcome, which is true. So if an old lady breaks up with her man, she either has to go or start a thing with another patch holder. I know a few people are going through this, and their guy is in a club and he dies. They're outcasted. They want nothing to do with you, and then they don't understand. You um, they're not allowed at the clubhouse anymore and stuff. It's because your guy um, you're no longer with your guys, so you're no longer allowed to be around. Plain and simple. That's just how it works in the MC world. You know, if I had a girlfriend, I've got a wife, but if I was in a club or whatever and we split, my wife wouldn't be allowed to hang at the clubhouse at all. No, she would have to. She would be told she'd had to go. And then there's the property patch. You know, if you are one of the few then that will be allowed that are allowed in. Um, I know there's quite a few that they're not allowed in because they're not with their guy anymore. But the property patch basically tells another biker that you're taken and not to mess with you because you belong to another person, and they usually will say property of. You know, basically is just like this. The old lady is wearing a property of patch. Yep, it's literally a patch that reads property of along with the name of the biker. This lets the other people know that she is not to be messed with or around, but only out of respect for the her old man, of course. Now, if you broke up with that person, yeah, then you're fair game. If you have a few friends up there, yep, you know a lot more people than I do, Shocker. That's for sure. And I'm glad that they let you into their clubhouse. Yes, I'm not sure how you're hearing that because I got that pretty low. That must one hell of a microphone on my headset. Bad behaviors. Let's see what's it say about bad behavior. The rules and regulations of an outlaw MC govern how its ladies speak and behave. And according to a motorcycle expert, I won't say the name, that could include the women risking their livelihoods for their fellas. If a cop is threatening to shake down an MC, for example, the women may take possession of any contraband and conceal it from the law. Which they do. They're basically condoning um, their man's bad behavior and helping them cover it up and not get busted. So you're going to have to deal with that. Um, no drama. He says that's not really a strange rule. That's just a basic rule. Everywhere in any place in the biker scene that I've seen is no drama. Gee, could be a madhouse. When the people in a group are as close as those in motorcycle gangs, fights will break out. Yeah, it can't stop a fight from breaking out or an argument. But one thing, let's see. But while it's one thing if they trade blows, so other thing for the biker gals. If two women get into it, they risk finding themselves out from the group. Yeah and no, but there's still things that need to be settled when it comes to women because just like men, they got to be able to duke it out and do their thing. But they're expected to be cordial and nice and be the second best, second fiddle or cordial. Hi Donna, how are you doing tonight? Um, to everyone else. So basically, in an MC, the women are just I want to say less than human, but because they're not treated as if you know they really mean anything. Pick up this, do that, do this, do that, and that's basically what the women do. Um, you don't I you don't want one that sleeps around stuff. Um, they don't want their women touching their vests. No, that's a sign of disrespect if I'm right. Um, why? Because it's that piece of clothing is basically sacred. So even if the vest is stinky and dirty, the woman should not clean it without permission. She shouldn't even lay her hands on it without asking her man first. Yeah, that is true because it's her man's vest, her man's patch. Respect the patch, respect the cut. Um, most people won't wash their vest. I got some patches I need to clean up, but I won't. I won't. Uh, I won't throw it in the wash. See, if an old man tells an old lady they can't go somewhere, they listen. That is true, and that's in the MC world. You know, say Shocker, you had a man and you wanted to go to a clubhouse. He said no. Well, you're not gonna go. I mean, you don't want to disrespect him or make him look bad. But that is one absolute rule that is in the MC world. If your man says no, you ain't going, you don't go. Period. They say make up rules. Um, I've seen a lot of people make up rules as they're riding. I'll tell you, an old lady has to be mindful of her man's vest at all times. If is she going to be riding on her fellow's bike, holding on to him as she does, then it's probably a good idea for her to put on her makeup after the trip, smudging the foundation and sacred onto that sacred piece of clothing would be very bad indeed. Oh, they're talking about makeup. I thought they're talking about making up rules. Gee, how about this one? Biker should get a clue, right? As a matter of fact, I was talking to me and the wife were talking about. She asked me a question about something, and my response was, "I'm 53 days from getting a clue." I was 53 days from knowing the answer, and she just burst out laughing on that one. Then they said they heels in boots, heels versus boots. Um, I'm sorry, I don't wear heels when I'm riding. Strictly in house, in the bedroom type thing. You know, heels are just that uncomfortable. Um, I wear boots when I'm riding. I'm thinking about switching the shoes, a more comfortable shoe where I got elastic covering up the laces so they don't get caught in anything. Um, and I think that's pretty much it because I hate tablets. You touch one thing and they don't want to. I think my tablet just froze. There we go. But anyways, so that's basically it. You've got um, trying to figure out why my tablet is not doing its thing. But anyways, there you go. 20 weird, or as they say, weird things about um, what your women should and shouldn't do that you should be following because your man is in a club. Now, as it's coming back up, it says to share and share alike. And one old lady revealed that the importance of sucking up to the veterans of an MC. Her rule is simple: share with your elders. These old timers are likely the key to having your man either accepted into or promoted within the club. Getting them getting them on side is always going to be a good idea. Yes. Um, Shocker says hi, dear.
Hi, sweetie.
Camilla says hi. She says hi, sweetie. We did have a day today, and I'm sorry I was late. I'll explain that when before I close out. Be kind. The women should be kind, definitely. Really? I'm reading this article, right? Because I thought this was pretty interesting. And it mentions someone that I consider a swear word. Be kind. Being kind is a point. Being kind to a point is a key. An old lady said to uh, yeah, Mr. Throttle. That that kind of standard advice for all walks of life. But it's super important for a biker wife. Kindness says that she and her old man are people others can trust, and that'll help them become further into the group. Yeah, so this was said to Mr. Insane Throttle,
No.
and I can say it because it's in the article, Insane Throttle, but I won't drop the person's name because we all know who that is. Yeah, that was said. I found that out. An old lady said that. Yeah. Kind of comes back around, doesn't it? Embrace the sisterhood. Women around a motorcycle club have to set an example for the men folk. Get that? The women set the example. According to one old lady, if they are strong, their men will feel it. If they are supporting one another, the men will do the same. And if the women help the other women in need, that feeling of togetherness will spread in the entire group. So what they're basically saying is the women set the tone, and without the women, we're screwed because us men can't figure shit out. That's what I'm gathering from that. And y'all can laugh at that because it's the absolute truth. Because without women, we're fucked. Clean and sober. They want their women clean, sober. If you're doing drugs, they'll probably kick you to the curb. An old lady reflects behavior reflects on their man, and that extends to how they hold their drink. So while your man can chug back a beer or two and a couple 40s, no problem. That's it's a good idea for the woman to remain sober. To cross the line into obvious drunkenness is to risk damaging a man's reputation, and not to mention it to put you in a good position to be taken advantage of by others. So don't do it. Yeah, you don't. The women don't approach taken members, of course. Um, and again, no shocker, you're going to love this one. According to the old lady talking to Insane Throttle, an unattached woman moving from one gang member to another is called a pass around. Gee, I know quite a few of those. Wink, wink. And it seems that this is all okay until the pass around approaches a guy who was already taken. That behavior is likely to land them on all kinds of hot water. Unless you have permission and it's been set up beforehand. That's the only way to avoid that. I did not think I would see this name in this article. That yeah. Old friends. Another good way to get in deep with the MC is to befriend the older ladies. The classy older ladies. You know, these women are the property of the club's veterans. I hate that word. So they'll know everything that is worth knowing about a group and its rules. Making friends with these ladies is another way of showing respect for the club too. Yes, these women will know the rules. They will know the ins and outs. They will know what you should and should not do. Listen to them because it'll save you a lot of grief in the long run. Yep. Yeah, you can sleep at the clubhouse. Some will let you do that. I don't know about all, but I know some will. Right? Um, we know about that one there, Shocker. I don't need explaining. And you are expected to act like a lady. Um, and it's a subject she knows. Well, we ain't going to that one. And one of the key takeaways from that piece was that women should basically act like ladies in an old fashioned sense of that phrase. Don't sit around all spread eagled and nasty. Nah, if you got your legs open and showing your business, that just tells me you're easy, plain and simple. So, I mean, I could go on. There's a lot of that they list here, and I'm looking at this and I'm going, you know what? This is all pretty stupid, except for a few of them because it doesn't. Um, it's just basically stuff that we all know. Okay, shocker. What's this one? They tell you to look. They say you should look your best. Well, yeah, you're a reflection of your man and his patch. So, if you look your best, then you're showing a good representation of you and your man, and that you're proud of your man. And I hope they're not saying that your women should wash the bikes. Um, Not every biker wife or girlfriend will have their own motorcycle. That is true. Most prefer to ride ride in the back or ride bitch if for lack of a better word. But if you do, you should really look after that bad boy. Wow. The reflection in your chrome is a direct reflection on your man. You know, I wash my bike once a year, maybe twice, spring and fall. I don't care. It's not a thing on me. It's just a thing on. I just don't. Bike's dirty. Bike's dirty. I'll wash it for a parade or something. But other than that, I ride it. It's going to get dirty. There you go. And they talk about biker etiquette. But if you're with a guy who's in a club, you already know this. But if you're not, well, then let's see. If you got your own hog, she should learn how to use it properly before being seen in public. And when she's riding with the rest of the club, she's absolutely has to be at the rear. The front of the pack is for men, of course. I'm going to ride in back with my woman. I don't give a shit. I like riding with my wife. Um, yeah, so that's what they're saying about biker etiquette. Um, I'm guessing when it comes to a club, the woman will ride in the back of the pack if she's got her own bike. That's one reason why I'm not in a club. Table manners, stuff like that. So yeah, a lot of this stuff we already knew. Um, if you're someone who's dating a person in a club, you should already know this. But if you're considering dating someone who's in a club, it's good news for you. Good information for you to pick up on, and to and good advice for you to follow. You know, you don't want to disrespect your man to make him look bad within his club, so you're going to want to support him and do everything that you can for him. Plain and simple. Um, if you got any art, anything different, um, argue any of the points I said, feel free to because, like I said, I'm not in a club. I'm in two organizations. I don't follow club rules. That's why I'm unaffiliated. And I will, I mean, club life just isn't for me. I like my women a lot. And I love knowing other women. And I love how independent and strong they are. So, club life isn't for me. I like not being in a club. But with that said, I do have to do a shameless plug. I do have 53 days stickers available. These are 1x7s by 1x7 circle. I'm selling these for $3 a piece. I've looked around and to find something comparable, larger ones that aren't they're a little bit bigger are going for about 7, 8. But anyways, I know people don't have a credit card to do a Cash App or Venmo or anything like that. You want one and you don't do something like that, get a hold of me and we'll work something out. If you want one, get a hold of me. I'll give you the Cash App or whatever. You can find me on Discord at the unaffiliated. Like I said, and we'll work something out. Definitely. I want people to have fun with the 53 days sticker. So, with that being said, y'all have a good night. Take care. Don't ride on the ice because you're going to slip and fall on your ass and ruin your bike. Take care, everyone.